So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the reports and dashboards. We'll see what exactly a report, what exactly the dashboard, how to generate the reports in Salesforce, and how can we represent the report data in the pictorial format by using the various chart components by using dashboards. And then what type of reports available in Salesforce, how to prepare those report formats, and how can we schedule the reports also, so that instead of running the report manually every day, we can make it schedule so that it will run the report based on the periodical intervals which are specified, and it will send the report data to you through email. Now, so when coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce has given so many applications to you by default. Salesforce has given so many applications. It may be standard or it may be custom applications. So we have so many applications has been given by Salesforce as part of Salesforce CRM, like a sales application, service application, marketing application. So many applications has been given by Salesforce by default, and along with that, in order to implement your own custom functionalities, we can able to build our own custom applications as well. So upon building those applications, to store the application specific data, we are using the various objects. So now that application specific data or that module specific data, it may be anything. In order to store the data, we are using the various objects. So as part of these objects, we are having the two types of objects are available in Salesforce, which are standard and custom objects. We have two types of objects are available in Salesforce. One is standard objects, second one is custom objects. Now the combination of both standard and custom objects are called as S-objects in Salesforce. Okay? The combination of both standard and custom objects are called as S-objects in Salesforce. Now in this case, what we can store inside these objects? Inside these objects, we can able to store the various records. That means your application specific data, your module specific data, your sales related data, your banking related data, your insurance related data, everything, the whole records will be getting available inside these objects. So that your data will be available inside the various objects, where all this information will be getting resides inside the database.com. Database.com is the customized database of Salesforce, where all the Salesforce objects and the records will get resides. Now, so once the data has been getting stored inside my object, then can I generate any reports? Because once the data has been getting stored, the business people or the management people of that organization or the end users, they would like to generate some reports. Because as a branch manager, for example, I'm handling one branch responsibilities. So as a branch manager, I want to know today how many customers has visited and how many products we have sold out, how many online orders we have received, how much revenue we have generated, what is that stock availability. I want to generate some reports over here. In this case, once the data has been stored inside that objects, so in order to generate the reports based on the data available inside that objects, Salesforce has given a feature called as analytics. Salesforce has given a feature called as analytics. As part of this analytics, we are having the two features are available. First one is the reports and the dashboards. So that the management people are going to be generating these reports because they want to know. It may be branch-wise data. It may be the consolidated data of all the branches. It may be product-wise data also. It may be day-wise data also. It may be weekly data also. It may be monthly data also, quarterly data also, whatever. So in order to get those information, we are going to be generating some reports. So that Salesforce has given a feature called as analytics. As part of this analytics feature, we are having the two features are available, reports and dashboards. By using this reports feature, we can able to represent the records information in the tabular format. Okay, in the tabular format, we can represent that records information. And by using this dashboards, we can able to represent the reported data in the pictorial format. So in order to represent the reported data in the pictorial format, we are going to be using this dashboard components. So these are the two features has been given by Salesforce by default over here. Now here in this case here, then what a report contains basically here. When coming to the report contains a collection of records which has been collected from one or more number of objects. Okay, report contains a collection of records. A set of records we are collecting from one or more number of objects. So now in this case here, now when coming to the report contains a set of records which has been collected from one or more objects from the database.com. So now here in this case here, whenever you are collecting the data okay, from the objects, we can able to add our own user defined conditions also. Because inside my report, I don't want to represent all the records, I want to show only some data here. Sometimes I want a report which represents only those account records whose industry equals to some banking. Only the banking account records report I want. Only the finance industry account report I want. I want only those positions information which are available for the Hyderabad location. That Hyderabad positions I want in the form of a report. So now here in this case here, whenever we are going to be generating the reports, that means whenever you are going to be representing some records, by collecting from the objects, at that time, upon collecting the data, we can able to add your own user defined conditions as well. That flexibility is available over here. So that we can able to add one or more number of user defined conditions in order to filter the data inside that report. So that that filtered information we can able to see inside that report itself. Now, so in this case, how can we generate the reports over here? What is the prerequisite over here? Okay, what is that? Prerequisite in order to generate the report over here when coming to that Salesforce. Now, in this case here, whenever you are going to be generating the report, okay, by collecting the data from an object, at that time, in that object level, okay, allow reports a checkbox has to be get selected. That means that already we have discussed in our initial concept itself as part of object creation. Upon creating the object, as part of optional section, we are having 4 checkboxes are available, like as allow reports, allow activities, track field history, and allow in charter groups. That means these 4 checkboxes are available. So that we need to select these checkboxes upon creating the object. But now, to generate the reports by collecting the data from that object, especially we need the permission, that is upon creating that object level, okay, allow reports checkbox has to be get selected. That means what here, if the checkbox is selected in the object level, then only that object will allows you to utilize the records. Okay, that object will allows you to get the records available inside the object to generate some report. That means whenever the object's allow reports checkbox has been selected, then only Salesforce will allows you to use that object records to be represented in the tabular format. So now in this case here, upon generating the report, first of all we have to make sure that, so in that object level, that means from whatever the object you are collecting the data to generate the report, so now at that in that object level the allow reports checkbox has to be get selected. It's a fundamental principle. We need to cross check that before generating the reports. So now here in this case we have to verify that. You have to verify the allow reports checkbox. Allow reports checkbox to be get selected. Allow reports checkbox has to be get selected over here. Now, so if this checkbox has been selected, then only Salesforce will allows you to use the records available inside that object to be get represented inside the reports over here. Now, so now here in this case, when coming to the reports, we have two types of reports available in Salesforce over here. Okay, we have two types of reports available in Salesforce. We have two types of reports. First one is the standard reports. Second one is the custom reports. Standard reports and the custom reports. So what do you mean by standard reports? By default, Salesforce has given so many reports to you by default on each and every object. On every object, Salesforce has given so many ready-made reports to you by default. So just you can run the report and then we can get that report data and we can send that report information to the other people as well. Or else we can download, or we can able to download that reported data inside your local system. So now in this case, whenever they're building that Salesforce CRM application, or whenever they're building that sales application or service application or the marketing application, by default Salesforce people has generated so many reports to you by default. They have configured ready-madely so many reports to you. So just you can go to that report and you can run the report. It will generate the data. The data we can able to use upon your business requirement. So whatever the reports has been given by Salesforce, those reports are called as the standard reports. Now, so sometimes whatever the standard reports has been given by Salesforce, those may not be sufficient for me. I want to create my own application specific reports. I want my module specific reports. I want my business specific reports. I want my customer specific reports. At that time, we can able to configure your own reports also, which are called as custom reports. So now sometimes I want my accounts data. How frequently I want weekly data over here. Or I want one more report to get that daily data here. Sometimes I want a report which will collect the recent 3 days data. Sometimes I want a report which it will collect the last 1 month data. Like that here I want to generate so many reports. So at that time, depends upon your business requirement, we can able to configure your own reports also. The flexibility is available so that whatever the reports that you have created as an administrator or as a developer, those reports are called as the custom reports. Now, in this case, whatever the reports you are going to configure, each and every report will be getting resides inside that report folder. Each report should get resides inside a report folder. Like that already we have discussed in our initial concept during the email templates, every email template will be getting resides inside an email template folder. Like the similar way, every report will get resides inside a report folder. So now the people who are having access on that report folder, only those people can able to access those reports. If the people are not having the access on that report folder, then at that time they can't access that reports available inside the folder. So that in order to access the report, we should have the permission on the report folder. If you're having the access on the report folder, then only we can able to see the reports available inside that folder, and we can run the report and we can perform the operations as well. Now, in this case here, only the authorized people can able to access that reported data, nothing but reports information. Only the authorized members. Okay, only the authorized members will be having the access on the report folders, so that the people who are having the access on the report folder, only those people can open the folder, they can look into that report folder, they can see the reports and they can run the report, they can able to perform that operations. So in this case, whenever you are going to be granting the permissions on the report folder, you will be having three types of permissions are available here. We have the three types of permissions on the report folder. First one is the viewer permission. Second one is the editor permission. Third one is the manager permission. So these are the three permissions are available which we can able to grant to the people on this report folder. So whenever I'm granting that viewer permission on the report folder, okay, whenever I'm granting the viewer permission on the report folder, then the people can able to run the report and then they can see the data. They can see the data generated by the report. What are the reported data is available, that reported data they can able to see. But they can't modify that report information. They can't modify the report conditions. They can't modify the reported type. They can't modify the report columns. Nothing. They can't do anything. Simply they can click on run button. They can able to run the report, and then it will generate the data. The data they can use. That's it. But they can't modify here the columns information, conditions information. Nothing. They can't modify anything inside that. Simply they can able to view the reported data. That's it. That means they can run the report, they can view the report data. That's it. They can't perform any other operations. Now, editor permission. So whenever you are granting the editor permission on that report folder, at that time, those people can able to run the reports. They can able to run the reports available inside the folder, and along with that they can able to modify the report conditions also. Modify the report parameters, report configuration parameters. So now here in this case, the person or the people who are having the editor permission on the report folder, those people can able to view the reports, they can run the report, and they can modify the report's information also. That means what? Report information in the sense, what columns we can able to display on the report, what condition needs to be get applied, and then what kind of chart components we need to prepare, and then in what order the columns to be get visible. We are specifying that some order. So now they can able to customize all these things. The people who are having the editor permission on the report folder, those people can able to run the reports, and they can able to modify the report configuration parameters as well. That flexibility is available. Next, the manager permission. The people who are having the manager permission, those people can able to run the reports available inside the folder, and they can able to modify the report parameters, and they can remove the report also. Report from the folder. They can able to remove the report from the folder also. The flexibility is available. So these are the three permissions are available which we can able to grant on the report folder itself. Now to whom we can able to grant this permission? We can grant this permission. We can grant the permissions on the report folder to either a user or to a role or to the roles and subordinates or to the public group. Or to the public group. So based on the username or based on a specific role or based on roles and subordinates or based on public groups, we can able to grant the access on the report folder. So now here in this case here, now. So in this case here, when coming to the report folders also, again we are having two types of report folders are available here. Okay, we have two types of report folders. The same concept, like a standard report folders, and the second one, custom report folders. So by default, Salesforce has given some set of ready-made folders to you in which the Salesforce prepared reports information is available. That already we have discussed that Salesforce has given so many reports to you by default as part of Salesforce CRM application. Those reports are available inside some ready-made folders. Those ready-made folders have been configured by Salesforce upon building that Salesforce application. So those folders are called as standard report folders. Like it will be having some standard folders are available, like unfiled, public reports folder, my personal reports folder, accounts folder, nothing but accounts reports folders. Like that here, Salesforce has given so many folders to you by default in which some of the reports are available over here. So that just you have to open that report folder and then click on that report and you can run the report and we can generate the data as well. So now sometimes it depends upon my application requirement, depends upon my module requirement, we need to configure our own folders also. So that I am building some multiple applications. One banking application, one sales service application, and then one finance application, one marketing application. At that time, application wise, we are generating some reports. As part of my banking application, we have configured some reports. As part of insurance application, we have configured some reports. So at that time, how can we differentiate these reports? Because both the application we have built inside the same organization. So in this case, how can we differentiate which reports are belongs to banking application, which reports are belongs to the finance application, so that we can create your own custom folders also. So upon creating your own report, we can able to select these folders. Because upon creating the banking reports, we can save it into the banking reports folder. Upon creating that finance related report, we can able to store inside the finance related folder over here. Like that, we can maintain the multiple folders, and in that folders we can able to save your reports which you have configured. So that Salesforce has given two types of report folders to you in which all our reports information will be getting stored. Now, upon configuring that report folder, we can able to grant the permission to whom you want to assign. That means whatever the custom folder that you have created, in that custom folder I'm placing some reports. Then who are the people can access these reports here? So that we need to grant the access on this folder to that required people. So that here, when coming to that report folders, we need to grant the permission to the required people, okay, on the report folder. So upon granting the permission, we can grant the permission based on a user or based on a role, based on roles and subordinates, or based on public groups also. So now here in this case, if you want to grant, okay, if you want to grant the access on this folder to some 100 people, at that time, instead of adding these people manually one by one, so now we can able to make them as a group. Create a group, and then in that group add all those 100 members to whom you want to grant access on this report folder. So that here, once all these people has been added to the group, then grant the permission on this report folder to this group. So that whenever I'm granting the access on the report folder to the group, then each and every group member will be receiving that email notification automatically, and they will be getting that report folder's access as well. So that those 100 people can able to access my report folder, and they can able to access my reports, they can run the report, and they can generate the data as well. So that flexibility is available as part of your custom folder, so that depends upon your requirement over here. We can able to use that standard reports folder, or we can use the custom reports folder also, which has been prepared by the developer or the administrator. So now here in this case here, then what a report contains basically over here. Okay, what a report contains. Each and every report contains some set of options. Okay, every report contains some set of options. Then what options are available as part of a report? What parts are available for this report? How to generate this report? Now let's see practically in this case here. When coming to the reports, each and every report contains some set of options, which are called as report configuration parameters. Now, in this case, each report contains some set of configuration parameters. Each report contains the below configuration parameters. What parameters are available? Configuration parameters means what? What options are available inside my each and every report? Every report contains some set of fields, nothing but it contains a set of fields to be get visible on the report. So now what columns information you would like to display on the report here, so that we can able to specify what columns information you want to make it visible on the report. Next, whenever you are displaying some report information, at that time we are selecting some columns, because inside my, for example, inside my report, I want to display only account IDs, account names, and the ratings, industries, and annual revenues. Only this information I want to make it visible in the report, so that we need to indicate what columns need to be get displayed inside your report over here, so that we can specify the fields. And after that, whenever I'm displaying this columns information, so now, do you want me to display all this information in a specific order? That means ID column first, and then name column first, and then industry, and then rating, and then phone, and then fax. Like that, do you have any specific order? Then you can specify. So in this case, we can able to specify the order of the fields. Order of the fields in the report. Now, whenever we are going to be displaying some columns information or the fields information inside the report, at that time, in which order these columns to be get visible inside the report, we should be able to verify that. For that one, we are going to be indicating that here, order of these columns over here. So whenever we are going to be generating some reports at that time, I no need to fetch all the records available inside the table, because for example, if the table is having some millions and millions of records, then will this report will generate with the millions and millions of records? No. So in this case, when coming to that reports over here, whenever you are fetching the data from the object to display in the report, at that time, we can able to add our own filter conditions also. Depends upon the requirement, we can able to add the user different conditions. Based on that condition, the records will be getting filtered, and the filtered records information will be getting visible inside your report. So that here, we can able to add your own filters also inside your report over here. We can add one or more filter conditions to be get added to the report to filter the reported data. In order to filter the reported data, we can able to add one or more number of conditions as well. And along with that, if you want to group the reports information, Okay, if you want to group the reports information based on some specific column, we can specify that groupings information also. Now, grouping information, that is column names based on which the reported data has been grouped. Based on what columns information, okay, my report has been grouping that information here. And after that, whatever the data we have collected through this report, this data in which format you would like to represent the people. So for that one, that means in which chart component, like as in horizontal bar chart, vertical bar chart, pie chart, donut chart, or what? In which chart format you want me to represent over here, so that we can specify the chart components also here. It contains the chart components in which the reported data should get represented. Next, after that, it will be having the report type. It contains the report type. And along with that, it will be having the information about your scheduling information over here. That means if the report you want to run every day night at the evening at 7 o'clock, okay, every day night at 7 o'clock, we need to specify over here. Now, so that we can able to schedule that report information also. Now, it can contains optionally the scheduling information. Scheduling information. That means how frequently this report will get run automatically. We can able to specify all this information inside this. Now, in this case, whenever we are going to be generating the report, or whenever you are configuring the report, at that time, report configuration parameters will be getting saving into the database over here, not the reported data. Report data means what? What records information it has collected from the database, that records will become under the reported data. So in this case, upon generating the report configuration parameters will be saving inside the system here, not the reported data. That means what data has been generated with the report, that information will not be visible over here. Now, in this case here, now, upon configuring the report, it will say the report configuration parameters inside the database. And the reported data is the real-time data. So this is the real-time data. That means on the spot, they will be collecting the data from that object over here. It's not the old one. Okay, it's not the old one. It's not the 1 year back information, 2 years back information. It's the latest one. So that here, and the report data will be always a real-time data. That means upon click on that run report button, it is going to be running the report and it is going to be displaying the report information. We can able to run the reports as well. Now, in this case, the report configuration parameters will be saving into the database, not the reported data. Because report data is purely the real-time data. So on the spot, whatever the records are available, it will collect those records information from the object, and the records information will be getting visible to you by default. So now here in this case here, when coming to the reports information, when coming to the reports information, then how many records a report can represent at a time. That means how many records the report can generate at a time. So when coming to the report, each report can be able to generate maximum of 2000 records. Okay, every report can have maximum of 2000 records, not more than that. Why? Because if it is collecting all the millions and millions of records, then it will take more time to process it. So at that time, the application's timeout exception may be getting occurred. So now in this case, okay, in this case, to avoid these situations, they have introduced that when coming to the reports, reports are going to be having the maximum number of records as 2000. Each report can produce maximum of 2000 records. Then sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I'm having some 20,000 records are there inside my object, so I would like to represent all those records in that report. At that time, we can able to schedule that report over here. Whenever we are going to be running the report inside your Salesforce instance, then that report can produce maximum of 2000 columns. This is the limitation. If you want to get more number of records, okay, through the report, then we have to schedule it so that during that scheduled time up, it will find that report, it will run the report, it will collect the data, and then the data will be sending to this person. It may be 1000 records, it may be 10,000, it may be 1 lakh, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever. Now, in this case over here, so that each and every report is going to be producing maximum of 2000 records. So if you want to produce more number of records, then we have to make it schedule. That means we have to schedule the report here. Now, you can schedule the report to get more number of records through the report. So in this case, how can we build this report over here? In order to build the report, Salesforce has given the two components are available. Two features has been given by Salesforce by default over here. Okay, to generate the reports here, we have two components. Now, to generate the reports, Salesforce has given the below two components or features. What are those two components? The first one is the report builder. Second one is the report scheduler. First one is the report builder. Second one is the report scheduler. Then what do you mean by report builder? Report builder is a feature which has been given by Salesforce, which is purely a drag and drop feature. Okay, which is purely a drag and drop feature in order to generate the reports. So now by using this report builder, we can able to build the reports. Okay, we can build the reports. Okay, by using that drag and drop options. With the help of this drag and drop options, we can able to build the reports according to the business requirement, and we can able to represent the data also over here. So that I would like to have that report builder. And then if you want to schedule that report to be get run on every day evening or every day morning during a specific time period, we can schedule that report with the help of this report scheduler. So that report builder is used to build the report by adding the required columns to be get visible inside the report, and to add the conditions, filters, and all these things. Okay, we need that report builder. Once the report has been getting built successfully, then in order to schedule that report, we need a separate component that is called as a report scheduler. By using report scheduler, we can able to schedule the report based on the periodical intervals, whatever you want. So that here we are having the report builder and then report schedule is available to you over here, which has been given by Salesforce to you. Now, in this case over here, in this case, how many types of reports we can able to build in Salesforce? We can build the below 4 types of reports in Salesforce. We can build the below 4 types of reports in Salesforce here, so that Salesforce will allow you to build the below 4 types of reports. The first one is the tabular reports. Second one is summary reports. And the third one is matrix reports. And the fourth one is joined reports. Joined reports. So now these are the 4 types of reports has been given by Salesforce here. So that we can, upon creating your own report, we can able to build a tabular report also, or summary report, or matrix report, or it may be the joined report also. Depends upon the business need. So now here in this case here, upon preparing that report, we need to select any one of the report type. It may be either tabular type or summary or the matrix or join. But whenever you are creating the report, by default it is going to be selecting the tabular report here. Tabular report option will be getting selected by default upon creating any of the report whatever you want. So now here in this case here, how can we build these reports over here? So where is these options are available? Okay, where is these options? So now in order to build these reports, we are using that report builder. Okay, we are using that report builder. So in that report builder, to generate that report, we are going to be using that the new report option over here to create your own report folder. So now here in this case, so in order to create that report, so we are going to be adding those 2 tabs over here. No. To generate the reports in the Salesforce organization, to generate the reports in the Salesforce organization, we need to add the reports and dashboards tabs onto the tab bar. So that in order to create the reports, we need to add that reports and dashboards tabs onto the tab bar. That means reports is a tab, dashboards is a separate tab. Though both are separate tabs over here. So we need to add those tabs onto the tab bar in order to use those features to generate the reports based on the requirement. So in this case here, when coming to the Salesforce, that already we have discussed that we can able to configure 4 types of reports. So the tabular report, summary report, matrix reports, and the joint reports. Then what do you mean by this tabular report? Tabular report is going to be representing the reported data in the tabular format. Okay, yes, it's a straightforward and it's a very, very basic report format. It's a very, very basic report format which is going to be representing all the records in the tabular format and along with the grand total information. Nothing but totally how many records has been generated by my report. So in order to know, how many records information has been written by my report and then what columns information they have written. So everything we can able to indicate inside the tabular format of report. That means tabular reports are used to generate the reports which will be representing the data in the tabular format. So that tabular report is a very, very basic report which is going to be representing the recorded data in the tabular format, and along with that it will be providing the grand total information also over here. Okay. Now, so tabular reports over here. It represents the reported data in tabular format along with the grand total as well. In order to generate the reports, the tabular format and represent the grand totals information, we are going to be using the tabular report. So now, but in sometimes, I would like to group the records based on some columns. Okay, based on some columns, I want to group the records. Like for example, I'm having some set of account records out there. So I want to know how many accounts are there which are having the industry as banking. So then do I need to count all these things one by one? No. So in this case, in order to represent the reported data in some separate formats, that means by grouping the records based on one or more columns, at that time we can go with that summary. Summarizing means what? Here we are going to be grouping the records information. So now at that time, by using the summary reports, we can able to summarize the reported data, okay, by grouping the records based on one or more columns. Now, it represents the reported data it will represents the reported data by collecting from the object and it will group the records based on one or more columns. That means by using this summary reports, we can able to apply the row-wise grouping. Okay, grouping we can able to apply. That means we can apply the row-wise grouping. Now, in this case, by using this summary report, we can able to apply the row-wise grouping in the report itself. Based on that row-wise grouping, we can able to represent the record information as well. But in sometimes I want both row-wise and the column-wise grouping as well, like as a matrix. Okay, like as a matrix. So that we are using this matrix reports. That means it allows us to represent the data, by collecting from one or more objects, and it will provide the report without the business logic. That is reports tab. Now, and we can provide the both row wise and the column wise grouping over here. Now, so in this case over here, that is, we can apply both row wise and column wise grouping. Through the matrix report. And the next one, joined reports. Basically, joined reports are used to group or to collect or to combine the multiple reports data into a single report itself. In order to combine the single report data into the multiple reports, we are using this joined reports over here. By using this feature, we can able to club the multiple object record, nothing but multiple reports data into a single report. So now by using this feature, we can club the multiple reports data into a single report by default over here. So that in terms of the various blocks, how to configure that, what are the limitations are available, we'll see in these reports over here. So that we are having these 4 types of reports are available in Salesforce, like as the tabular report, summary report, matrix reports, and the joined reports. So these are the 4 types of reports are available in Salesforce over here. Tabular reports are representing the data in the form of the tabular format and along with simply inside a child. Now, in this case here, so now it is going to be representing the information in the form of tabular format, and along with that it is giving that grand total information as well. That means, so now totally how many number of records has been represented inside that report, we can get that grand total with the help of this tabular report. And the summary reports are used to group the report data. So if you want to group the report data based on one or more number of columns, we can able to apply the grouping as well. So that the summary report will allow us only that row-wise grouping, not the column-wise grouping here. So to apply both row-wise grouping and the column-wise grouping, we are going to be using this matrix reports. And the joined reports are used to club the multiple reports of data into a single report, so that we are going to be using this joined report over here. So these are the 4 types of reports are available when coming to the Salesforce. It's a common question in every interview. How many types of reports are available in Salesforce? So simply we can say we are having that these are the four types of reports, like as a tabular report, summary report, and the matrix reports and the joint reports. These are the four types of reports are available in Salesforce. So once the report has been getting generated, then how can we represent the data in the historical format? That means in the tab format over here. So in this case, whenever we are going to be generating the reports, for the summary reports and the matrix reports, we can able to display the chart component. That means dashboard. Dashboard can be generated for the summary reports and the matrix reports, not for the tabular, not for the joint reports over here. Now, in this case here, now, chart component. That means so now the chart components should be applicable only for summary and the matrix reports. Summary and the matrix reports. For the remaining two records, so the remaining root here report two report types like as the tabular report and the joint reports, we can't generate any chart component. Chart component will not be available to you over there. So this is the basic information about the reports and the dashboard component. And then in tomorrow's session, we'll see how to generate the reports in Salesforce and how can we configure, how can we save those reports, and then how to create our own custom report folders. We'll see practical in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see the practical part of this reports concept, how to generate each and every report, like as tabular and what is how can we generate that and how can we say, how can we represent that report data in the form of the grouping formats here. How can we do that? We'll see practically as well in tomorrow's session.